1340 KVGC. On the phone with me this morning is Douglas Viviani. Douglas, one half of the hosting team of Everything Old is New Again every Saturday night at 6 o'clock here on 1340 KVGC. How was your week, Doug?
Good morning. My week was terrific for me because we're rounding the corner here on the summer, and I'm not saying I don't like the summer, but again, I've got a 3- and a 6-year-old, so they're out and about and around all day, every day, around here wreaking havoc. So we're running the corner, and school is right around the corner, so to speak. So you could see that. I remember those days as a kid. Do you, when you like the last week before school, and those commercials are on TV, driving you crazy as a kid because you don't want to hear the back to school the special on pencils and clothes and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely. It
used to drive you crazy, but also then mom brings you clothes shopping, and
I can't think of
really,
anything.
Like, no fun. You want to be in the ball field or running around in the pool or what have you, right? So you ignore all this stuff. I think the only good thing to me when I was a kid about this time of year, because you not that you hate school, but you just love summer so much as a kid. It was just such your time that back in the day, my parents left us alone. It was one of these: leave the house and we'll see you at 5 o'clock. So the fact that that's like impending doom. The best thing for us back in the day, a TV Guide would come out. They still do it online, and you could look up, what are the new TV shows coming out, so that you could plan. All right, when school's over, at least every night I can relax and watch a sitcom or some type of show or what have you. So you'd sit down with a TV Guide and plan out your week's viewing of television. Did you do that?
See, yes, and that's something that today's kids have no concept of.
Right.
And one of the reasons is, for example, in the middle of the year, a new TV series will start.
And no doubt, there's also the VCR or the DVR now. Where they press a button and they can binge watch on a weekend, or you could tape it, of course, and watch anytime you want.
Or people go, yeah, I spent all weekend. I caught up on The Walking Dead on Hulu.
Right.
Hulu, Netflix, all that nowadays. I mean, but you know what? Hulu does have its place. It does have its place.
It definitely helps. You can, we used to, if you had to go to the bathroom or something in a commercial and then you went over a little bit, you missing your, sitcom, which was going on for a half hour. It just really translates to 22 minutes with the commercials, and it was important. It was must-watch TV, so to speak, or appointment TV. You had to be there at that time to watch the show. So pulling out that TV Guide, which is another thing that I don't think is really. Is it in print anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Everywhere.
No, I don't think it is anymore.
And you'd pull it out and you'd study that like the box scores at the at the ball game. You would know every night at what time what show is on what time. Honestly, I barely know my favorite shows what times they're on because I DVR all of them and watch them when I get a chance.
Sure.
So I don't know, the new season's coming out. They've announced some new ones. Do you have any in mind that are strike your fancy at all? Or no?
No, I'm looking for the return of Gotham.
Okay.
I'm looking for the return of Gotham, and my favorite show went off the air last year, which was a show on FX called Justified, and that's not on anymore, so I don't have anything to look forward to. But Gotham and and I like the middle, Modern Family. That I like that. I don't watch. And I'm not I'm not an intelligent snob by any means, okay? I mean, I don't watch much TV. It's on, but I don't watch it much. And I do. You know what I've been addicted to, and you'll love this. I've discovered in the afternoons at noon time, at least here, be 3 o'clock at your on your schedule. I can watch The Lone Ranger from noon to 1, and then Roy Rogers from 1 to 2.
Oh, that's the greatest. That's Roy Rogers is the rare ones. That's reruns.
Yeah.
With Dale Evans and all that? That's
absolutely. Dale Evans, Pat, Nellie Bell, and Bullet, and the whole, and Trigger.
They have here, they're running Gunsmoke and Bonanza back to back over here. So I get into that with the westerns in the afternoon when I'm working. I'll throw the TV on and sort of background and when I'm doing paperwork and what have you.
Now, a lot of folks are.
That's good. Well, something new. I don't know. I might sound crazy. Talk about not being snobbish, if you will, about television. I might be crazy, but I think for a new show, two of them I'm thinking that I'm going to predict. The first one is the Muppets, the new Muppet Show. We spoke about this show on Everything Old is New Again in the past, and we're talking about they're coming out with, believe it or not, a Broadway play for the Muppets, and we talked about how that it just doesn't go away, the Muppets, and how great they are. But this is going to be more like an adult Muppets behind the scenes. They're behind the show, I guess more or less like a Seinfeld type of thing, where they're not going to be on television doing their show. They're following their careers or their personal lives of the Muppets, and they interact with humans and date humans and all of this.
Are you serious?
I think it's a great idea. I don't know. It shows me where I'm at. I like to escape when I'm watching TV if I really want to watch a show,
Now,
also,
I'll tell you what show I'm also waiting for is the return of Doctor Who.
Okay. That show has really been hitting it. I mean, there's a real growth and a real following for that show. We did a convention on Long Island, 2-day shows on the convention that we visited for Doctor Who, and the experience was terrific. The actors were great. Speaking with us, and it's coming again in November. We're definitely going to go and see that. And the fan following just keeps growing and growing. It was only the second convention this past year, and this upcoming year is the third year for it, and they've had to change hotels where they're hosting it on Long Island because the crowd is getting bigger and bigger. It's about 5,000 people they're expecting, and who would have thought for this show that's 50 years old, right?
Could this be maybe the new generation's Star Trek?
It definitely could be. I mean, it's a show that's there every day. They're running reruns on TV almost every day. You could see them. It's incredibly creative and interesting. And on top of that, there's now, remember, 50 years of this show that's basically been on. There's a little gap there back in the 90s, but basically been on, let's say, 40 years of shows. So, you could cross generations with it, and if Dad liked it, then, kids can like it together, like a Star Trek generational kind of thing. But I don't know if it'll ever replace Star Trek, because Star Trek has that American touch that, some people with an English show, for some reason, their sensibility is a little bit different, and they don't catch on.
Well, by that I meant the conventions, going to the conventions and dressing up like the characters, and that's what I meant.
Absolutely, just about the same thing. Yeah, I would agree. I was there in the beginning of the Star Trek convention phase in the early '70s, and seeing how it grew. And it seems to be it's growing a little slower because they're not getting the actors that are on TV now. They're getting older actors,
right,
at the conventions. But should they pull up, somebody that's been playing in this new incarnation of Doctor Who at this convention, I think it will explode. There's no doubt. I think the demand is there. Talk to anyone. They all know whether they watch it or not. All your friends and family, they know that show's out there and it's live and active. So I think the fan base is there for these conventions. The conventions are not just about people that love the show. It's about just experiencing fun with your friends and family. So.
Well, besides the Muppets, are you looking forward to any other new show?
I am going to predict another one's called DC's Legends of Tomorrow. It's a show that's a spin-off from Flash, The Flash, which I think is hitting its stride as well. And it takes a bunch of characters from Flash, if you know, I don't know, Firestorm and White Canary, the Atom, which is sort of an Ant-Man type of character, Hawkgirl and Captain Cold and Heatwave. These are crazy names if you haven't heard these people before. But anyway, they are time-traveling warriors who are fighting, allegedly, the most villainous villain of all time, and they mean that because this villain travels in time as well. So the Flash will be making an appearance here and there, and this group will now carry on its mandate, if you will, or its mission to save the world. And I think it's going to be really fun. We'll see.
Is that a term you use in court a lot? The most villainous villain of all time? I've never heard that. That's
well, usually I call the judges that behind their back when they don't agree with me.
I'm going to start using that. The most villainous villain. You're the most villainous villain.
You'll never hear it on the record, but always you'll hear that. Yes. Anyway, speaking speaking of the advent of fall and morning, I saw that KVGC is carrying these Friday night football games.
Oh, yeah.
Starting this tonight, I think, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, what is that about? What's the Motherlode League? What is that?
Well, the Motherlode League is that's our league. It consists of Argonaut High School, Amador High School, Bret Harte, Calaveras, Somerville, Sonora, and Linden. That's our league. So that's our high school league that we play. But we're in preseason right now. So tonight, Argonaut's going to Colfax, which is about 2 hours to the north of us. And Amador will actually be home, and that's the game we're doing. They're playing San Juan, which is a high school out of the Sacramento area.
Nice. Okay. And you've got play-by-play.
Oh yeah, JD and Jake will be doing today's game. Next week we'll be doing Argonaut's game, and JD and Frank Halverson will be doing that game. And and we have updates of the other games that are going on. Listen tonight. Tune in. It's
I will.
Quite a production.
That's something I missed out on because the East Coast does not have Friday night football at all. High school football is really not, I don't think, as big as it is in many other places in the country. I remember that TV show and all that, and I really couldn't relate to it, unfortunately, because we don't have it. So I think it's such a great thing to be in high school and be on the radio and have a nice opportunity to show yourself to the to your community and get you 15 minutes of fame, but more importantly, just have some fun with football and have everyone, kind of follow it and know a little bit about your team and how you're doing, because there's so many things that high school kids do that are so great, and you never get to hear about it. At least this is a little piece of that. I think it's great.
There are towns in Texas where high school football is religion, and some radio stations do up to 7 games a week because they start playing on Thursday. So they'll play Thursday, Friday into Saturday. So, but anyway, hey, what's up on this week's show?
Well, this week with the release of, if you know that the 6th Mission Impossible movie is out with Tom Cruise, and the reboot of, if you remember this show, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which was released a couple weeks back, is the inevitable has happened. Everything old is new again. It's accepting the mission to pit these two secret agent franchises against each other and to find out which is the best secret agency, Mission Impossible or Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Now, do you know what UNCLE stands for?
I do. I wrote it down, and I took it off of my piece of paper that I prepare for, so I can.
United Network Command for Law and Enforcement.
Yeah, wow. Now, how did you remember that?
Because I watched that show. I watched it all the time when I was a kid.
It's an amazing. It was a fun show. An American and a Russian spy working together in the '60s during the Cold War. It was a really fun show. We're going to investigate all of that and have a great time with it. And also, I will make a claim that Leonard Nimoy was, if not the best, one of the best spies of all time. And I'm not going to release the information now. You'll have to tune in to see how in the world do I tie Star Trek once again into our topics.
Nobody can do it except everything old is new again.
There'll be a thread of logic there, whether you believe it or not.
Douglas Viviani, thanks for visiting with us again this week. And we'll look forward to listening to you and David Saturday night at 6 o'clock here on 1340 KVGC.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the game, too.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, take care.